Okay, attempt number 2 on this FIFA World Cup Group E prediction. And also, the camera just gone a little bit blurry a little bit. Do apologize for that. But yeah, this is attempt number 2. After attempt number 1 looked like it was going to be successful, and that I actually upload that video onto YouTube, and it was there for like 54th minute. And it only until right about 54 minutes and right about someone commented that there was actually no audio in the video, that I found out that there was no audio in the video, and that everything that I said back in my first attempt is completely wiped away because for whatever reason, I don't know why there was no audio. I don't know why the mic did not pick up my sound. I'm pretty sure that when I recorded that in my first attempt, that I checked to make sure the mic is on. And this time I did check it again, and I actually also did a mini test clip to see if it actually worked, and it looks like it is working, but I still don't know what happened to the audio when we finish uploading on YouTube, because that has to be probably the reason why there was no sound whatsoever. But either way, with that being said, let's talk about this Group E prediction. And because this is the second attempt, it means that I'm going to have to repeat a lot of things that I said last time, and I hate to do that. So I'm going to try to do it as quick as possible. Well, I'm going to go through it very quickly. And yeah, and also for those of you that actually watch my first attempt, and I know there was 6 of you that actually watched this, and you're watching this again, then you won't exactly know who exactly is going to be in the top 4 spot, or in the 4 spots that is in Group E. But either way, obviously Group E include the teams of the likes of Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and also Costa Rica. And just like Group D, this is another group where you could make a legitimate argument that all 4 of these teams can potentially make it out of the group. But unlike the last group, we probably know who exactly is going to finish number 1 in this group. And really, the second place is only the place up for grabs in this group. And really, these 3 teams, you could again make a very legitimate argument that they deserve to be in that second spot. But yeah, we start with 4th place, and I'm going to say it's going to be Switzerland that's going to be finished 4th. Now, I know this might be a little bit of a surprise, seeing Switzerland as a team that I put at 4th place and finished last, considering the fact that they did make it out of the group in the Euros. But the thing I will say about Switzerland, and the reason why I don't think they'll make it through, is because will they have enough on the attacking end? I mean, I know the Switzerland team does have a lot of good talented attacking end. You got guys like Xherdan Shaqiri, and also everybody's favorite youngster to sign in the FIFA 18 career mode if you're working with a mid-budget team, that is Bril Imbolo. And also Switzerland has a good midfielder that is anchored by Granit Xhaka. They also have one of the more experienced and one of the best fullbacks in the world, that is Ricardo Rodriguez. But the question is that still going to be enough? And I'm just worried that, you look at this team, the attack, I don't know if Shaqiri is just going to be the guy that is just going to be carrying this team. And, the reason why I don't include Imbolo in there as the person that could potentially can help off that load of Shaqiri is that Imbolo is actually making his first big tournament with the Switzerland national team. And yeah, that is not a lot of experience going in. Like, that is a lot to ask for a kid that is, I think he's only like 20 years old, and he's going to the World Cup for the first time, experience his first big tournament for the very first time. And yeah, that is going to be a big thing to ask. So I really think that this attack is all down to Shaqiri. And knowing that the other 2 teams in this group are very defensive organized, that is going to be interesting to see how Switzerland can break them down. And also, I don't think Switzerland has the best defense in this group, and you could argue they might have the worst defense in this group. So that's why I decided to put Switzerland there in 4th place. And in 3rd place, and I might as well just put 2nd too, because I'm going to talk about these two teams. Because this is kind of like something that I said back in Group A, where I talk about how there's these two teams in 2nd and 3rd place that is separated by literally margin in terms of their chances of making out of this group. And for Costa Rica, obviously the real reason that they could make it out of this group is that they also have a lot of talented player, and they also have one of the best goalkeeper in the world, that is Keylor Navas. And if you remember what he did in the last World Cup, yeah, that was absolutely amazing. And the way that Keylor Navas is in that World Cup, and really even after that World Cup, and when he performed with Real Madrid, he has been absolutely sensational with Real Madrid. I mean, I know there's been a lot of Real Madrid fans that want him to get out of the club and that he is not good enough. I disagree. I think he is probably right up there with the likes of ter Stegen, Neuer, and also De Gea as certainly one of the best goalkeeper in the world. And I really think Costa Rica is going to be heavily reliant on him. He is going to be the guy that is going to try to stop all those shots that is going to be coming against him. And besides, of course, the goalkeeper position, which is the strongest point about this Costa Rica team, they also have some good attacking threat too. Obviously we all know that Marco Arena is one of those guys that is going to lead the lines for this Costa Rican national team. There's also a couple of MLS players in this squad too, guys like Kendall Watson, Rodney Harris, Matt Taylor, and I forgot who was the other player that is playing for this Costa Rica national team, but he also plays in MLS. But there are a couple of guys that plays there, and I think maybe Marco Arena is the only one that legitimately have a chance to start every game, and the rest will just be kind of like bench player or just super sub player. But still, certainly they have the talent there to break down opponent. They also have Joe Campbell, the guy that flopped at Arsenal and that now I think he's at Real Betis, and he's still doing pretty well there. So yeah, I think Costa Rica, that might be one thing that they could take advantage of it, besides the fact that they have a world-class goalkeeper. Although, like I said, I really think that Costa Rica's chances of making out of this group really depend on the hands of Keylor Navas and how good he will be to stop those shots from coming in, because there's going to be a lot that's going to be firing him. Costa Rica is a team that doesn't really have a very good defense. And the other team definitely have a solid attack that is going to really challenge him. And speaking of that solid attack, that's what Serbia has. This Serbia team, this is probably the best Serbian team that they have ever had. They are led by former Newcastle United player and now Fulham player Alexander Mitrovic, and they also are led by a midfield that is called Dusan Tadic, who used to play, well, he's not used to play, but he's currently played for Southampton. And also they have Matic and Milanovic to anchor in the defensive mid area. And they also have a very experienced fullback that is Alexander Kolarov that currently plays in Roma. So this team is definitely have a lot of talents, but the other question about this team is that, once again, will Mitrovic do just enough in this World Cup to try to bring Serbia to glory? Because, for Mitrovic, I have heard a lot of good thing of him at Fulham and how he's been one of the best player in the championship, but this is not the championship, okay? This is the World Cup. And you remember what happened when he was with Newcastle and how this was supposed to be the next big thing and how Mitrovic was actually going to step up and do well in the Premier League. Yeah, he did not do well whatsoever. So that is going to be very interesting to see if Mitrovic can actually deliver in the big stage, and also the fact that how is the Serbia team going to do in the defensive end, even though they do have some very good defender in this team. And, you know, certainly, but like I said, back in Group A where I talk about how between the teams that potentially can finish third and second, it will all determine by the game that when they face each other. And I think it also will determine when both of these teams face Switzerland, and how it might determine the fate of that second place team. I mean, it's definitely going to be very close, and it's definitely going to come down to the wire and coming down to the final days where, you know, each team need to see where they are in terms of the point total, but also in terms of goal differential. And I really think whoever scores the most goal out of these three teams and can see the least goal, if it gets to that point where there's a tiebreaker, then they, of course, will be moving on out of the group and the other team will be eliminated. But last but not least, obviously, the team that is going to be favored in this group, and pretty much favorite in terms of making all the way to the World Cup final and winning the whole competition, is Brazil. And I really don't need to explain why in the world does Brazil can not only top this group, but potentially can win the whole tournament. I mean, this team is just completely stacked from top to bottom, and you probably know who are those players, but I'll give you a hint. One of those players includes Neymar, and he's one of the best players in the world. But it's just not just Neymar that is good enough. There's all kinds of talent on this team, and there's also depth in this team too. So if one of their main guys goes down, then they always have a good replacement to them. I think that is the problems back in 2014 for Brazil. Back in 2014, I just think that even though that Brazilian national team was very talented, they really lacked the depth on that team. And really, you saw what happened when Thiago Silva went down in that team, and also Neymar went down that team. That team just had no answer, just no depth on their team to just kind of like put in those guys and they will potentially be a difference makers. And I think that's the difference between this Brazilian team than it was a couple of years ago. So, yeah, that is pretty much it for my prediction of this. And actually, this is actually a little bit longer than my previous one. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash that subscribe button. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for Group F. And yeah, I will see you guys later.